Check my YouTube channel, subscribe, and share.
Welcome, everybody, to Kimberly Speaking podcast. And today's guest is Vitelle Webb. She is a mother. She is a public speaker, an actress, a writer, and a director and a producer. Welcome, Vitelle.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. So, where are you from?
Originally from Ohio, Dayton, Ohio to be exact. But that is a tough question sometimes because I have not lived anywhere for more than 2 years except for Atlanta. So it depends on who's asking. Usually when I'm anywhere but Atlanta, I say I'm from Atlanta.
Okay.
I've been in Atlanta since 2009, so they say that technically I'm from here.
Well, that's a long time.
Right.
Absolutely. So what caused you to migrate to Atlanta?
So I was pursuing my acting career, and it was a matter of LA or Atlanta. It was between the two for me.
Yeah.
At the time, I really wanted to work with Tyler Perry. That was a major line in 2009. So I ended up going that route instead of out to LA. It felt a little bit safer. I was already stepping outside of my comfort zone as it is. So it was a little bit closer to home and financially a little bit less expensive. And I knew some people in Atlanta already, so that helped too. So, but one of the main reasons was to be able to work with Tyler Perry.
Okay, well, great. So have you always wanted to be an actress? Like, or was that something that just kind of like manifested like when you were older?
No, actually, it's been as long as I can remember. So I don't really have a memory of not wanting to be an actress. It's just always been there. But just as far as making it a career, obviously, as I got older, I had to understand the concept of making a career out of it. But it's always been something that's there that I've wanted to do and had a passion for and a real gift for, because I would like watch video playbacks and stuff and not even I don't even remember doing that. Like, how did I do that?
Wow.
So it definitely, it was a God-given talent.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. So you moved to Atlanta in 2009. Now, how hard was it to like actually get into the business? Like, what are some of the obstacles that you endured?
I don't want to say it was hard because it depends on your level of success. Like, for me, I was doing it. So that was successful from the beginning. You know, even starting small, you do have to start small. You do have to do a lot of extra work and a lot of, we'll work for food. You have to, you have to, pay your dues, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that was hard. If you enjoy the process and you're doing what you're passionate about, then you're enjoying it anyway. But you do get a lot of rejection, and you have to learn to accept those no's. I never really looked at it as, oh, like they didn't like me or I didn't do good. Like I always had that confidence in that area of my life with acting. So it's like, I know I did good in that audition. So it's not a matter of they didn't like me. It's like they just weren't looking for me for this.
Okay.
Just to move on from that. So that was never difficult for me. But I think for most people, the rejection is the hardest thing, honestly.
Yeah. I can definitely understand that. So your roles that you played in, I see that you've been in Tyler Perry's I Can Do Bad All By Myself, Drop Dead Diva, Vampire Diaries. My husband loves Vampire Diaries, by the way. So but yeah, so that is just awesome. So how did you even come into working with Tyler? Like, you just apply, you just try it out, or rather, and how did that go?
So just applying. So it's not too difficult to get in with Tyler Perry. I don't want to say that really because it just depends on what they're looking for at the time. So but you can, go to, it is somewhat as simple as going to the website and putting in an application. So starting off as an extra, they post extra work a lot of times, or if you get with an agency, which is not always necessary, but you can get with an agency who is a little more connected and able to know where to find the work. But it's really all about who you know. So, the agent or the agency is connected, but you can get connected as well, just going to all of these events. Speaking of get connected, there was actually an event when I first moved to Atlanta called Get Connected. The founder now in LA doing major things at this point, but the things that really started, like she was getting connected and then helping other people to get connected. So you know, it's about who you know and continuing to network with people and meet people, and then word of mouth and make an impression on people that they're speaking on you when you're not in the room. It's a combination of a lot of things, but just being persistent more than anything is what's going to get you in there. And then just showing up. You know, don't what does the Bible say? Don't despise small beginnings. So it's like, you got the small roles. Don't look at that like, oh, this is just a little role, or, you know, this isn't like, even if it's not a speaking role, like you show up, you do the best, you be the best thing on extra you can possibly be. And somebody's going to notice that, and they're going to, you know, see a value in you because you're showing up and doing the job well. And then you get elevated just like any other job. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really, really great advice. So aside from being an actress, what are some other things that you love and are passionate about? I know you have a lot of businesses and know you're, you know, entrepreneur, busy woman. So like, tell us a little bit about that.
I am a serial entrepreneur. So yes, that's what they're calling it now. There's a name for that. I do much, and I actually recently had to start cutting back and eliminating some things and saying like, okay, is this something that I feel like I'm called to do? Am I walking in my purpose if I'm doing this, or am I just, you know, finding a means to an end, or you know, providing more income or whatever? Like, I don't ever want money to be my motivation. So, you know, I had to really look at each thing that I'm doing and say, okay, is money the motivation for this, or is it changing lives, or am I really passionate about it? But so I do have the multiple companies. I have the production company, S3 Productions, which I founded because of me being an actress and model and producer director, and then now being a published author as well. So I wanted to like house all of that into one place so that it's not so much. And so I created S3 Productions to be the umbrella over all the entertainment sides of me, which is the main thing. And then I also have an Airbnb business. So creating that generational wealth, investing so that, you know, my kids have, you know, everything they need. And as you can see, I'm a mom. So that's one of the things about me. I tell, it depends on who's asking. That's another one of those, depends on who's asking questions, because I do have 3 children that I birthed. But total, I count 8 children, because I count my sister's children too, because that's all the next generation. Those are my babies. And so, you know, and I'm rich auntie is what they're calling it now. Rich auntie. It's a hashtag now. So
I know, right?
So when it comes to trips and Christmas and holidays and all the stuff, that's me. So
Oh, that's awesome. I know it feels good. Hey, you said what?
I said 8 babies and 5 businesses.
Oh, girl. I know. Listen, just having one child working businesses is a lot. How do you balance everything? Like, how do you do that?
Man,
do you do that?
Because like I literally ask myself that every day, like, how did I even do this? But I know, like, some things you can only give credit to God. So you know, I just take it one day at a time. I used to, like, you're looking at somebody who used to have anxiety attacks, overwhelmed all the time, depression, ideation. Like, I have come a long way. And so it's piece by piece. You know, they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So, you know, here I am every day taking it one day at a time, one bite at a time. Some days are just so much, you have to take it 1 minute at a time. It's like, you know what, I am 3 hours from now, I'm gonna focus on these next few minutes and see what happens there, see where it goes from there, because this is a lot, you know. So a bit at a time. That's the only thing you can do.
Oh my God, that's awesome. You said something that I really love. Like, am I, you know, is money the motivator for this, or am I operating in my, you know, in my purpose? Because, you know, you really want to do that, and it seems as if that's what you're doing with all your stuff. I mean, I don't know you personally, but just like hearing you talk about it and the different things, I just feel like, sometimes, in different seasons, we may, gravitate more to one thing than the other or
Right.
whatever. So, you may have the different seasons when you're in this one more, or, over here a little more. But I definitely feel like some people are called, to more than one thing. So, I don't feel like that's, everything. But you mentioned your book. What is your book about? Tell us about your book.
Yeah, so my book, I have it right here. It's called I Am a Poetic Ensemble. And
Okay.
it is three things. Everything that I do has multiple things, at least three, hence us three productions. And
Okay.
so this is a memoir of my life. It is a book of poetry, and it is also a self-help.
Oh,
So people who can relate to the poetry and
yes.
the book can go to the back for notes and references and get some information themselves on how to deal with the narcissist, how to overcome depression,
Yeah.
where to go, suicide prevention hotline, child abuse hotline, basically
Oh, okay.
everything that I've gone through that I wrote in my
Yeah.
memoir. I want to reach back and help someone else who's going through it, because there's plenty of people
Oh.
going through these things in the world today. So yeah, so that's what the book is all about. I write it in poetry format, mostly because it
Okay.
is actual journal entries. Like most of the pieces in here were written while I
Oh,
was going.
wow.
So as I compiled it all together to turn it into a book,
Mm.
a lot of it is like the original piece from that time period
Wow.
during that time. So
Wow. Powerful. Powerful. That is awesome. That is such a great idea. Like that's really awesome. Oh,
mhm.
that's wonderful. Okay. So yeah, we definitely got to put the link to that so they can get that when they watch the episode. Okay, so my question for you is,
Mhm.
if you could only do one thing and one thing only, what would that be?
Acting.
Acting.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been so easy to answer because I couldn't really imagine. I couldn't imagine
Yeah.
myself doing just one thing, honestly. But that was the first thing. That was the first love and passion. Everything else just like developed from that and became
Okay.
more so. But that was number one.
Okay. So you mentioned a couple of struggles that you did, things that you've gone through, things that you've overcome. How did you get out of that? What was your process in, just getting healed and delivered from those things?
Well, it was a lot of different processes. It was
Okay.
not just one thing or one epiphany moment or anything. But writing obviously was a big thing for me.
Okay.
Journaling, writing down what was
Mhm.
happening. I would always tell myself that what I'm going through right now is going to be a movie one day. It's going to be a book one day.
Mm.
Always kept
Yeah.
my eye on the light at the end of the tunnel. I literally would
Mhm.
visualize, I'm in this dark cave right now, but there's a light
Wow.
at the end of the tunnel all the way down there that I could see. And I'd visualize getting closer
Yeah.
to that light, not knowing what's on the other side of it, but knowing that I'm going to get there eventually. Uh,
Yeah.
Recognizing and understanding that it's a temporary situation, and
Mm.
not, knowing that nothing lasts forever. No storm lasts always.
Yeah.
So that's not usually easy when you are in the situation, but I had to
Absolutely.
coach myself through it and keep telling myself that, and even when I didn't believe it, like keep saying what I may not
Yeah.
believe at the moment. And of
Yeah.
course, I reached my places of giving up, throwing in the towel many, many times,
Mm.
but then just taking a break and picking it back up again tomorrow. Like I'm still alive. I'm still
Yeah.
here. So there must
Yeah.
be a reason. And just understanding
Absolutely.
that everything is happening for a reason. That was like the
Mm.
hardest part, but it became easy over time because as I experienced things and then shared my testimony, or I realized I was able to use what I had just went through to help someone else. And that
Mm.
went through, like, oh, I see why that happened
Yeah.
now.
Hmm.
So that
Yep.
was the
Hmm.
epiphanies that continued to happen throughout life, and
Wow.
to where over time, practice with life, that
Yeah.
I was able to see as it was happening and say, you know what, this is happening for a reason. I'm going to find out eventually
Mm.
why this is happening.
Yeah.
Hang on until then, until I
Wow.
see what's going to happen with this. So, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That is so crazy. I was actually speaking with someone before about how it seems like the things we go through, we end up helping others go through it. So it's like we went through it to help somebody else. They always say what we go through isn't just for us. And I've always seen that to be true, and that it has proven to be true, like time and time again. So I think that is good that you were using that, thought process to kind of encourage yourself and just kind of like, to get through the stuff. So that's important. And oh my God, that's crazy. That was good that you were able to continue to tell yourself that. That's not always easy when you're going through something, to be that voice of reason, or to be that, person to coach you. So that was good.
Kind of like I think still to this day, I sit back, and because now I'm a guide for the next generation of me coming up. And so I teach them all the time. I'm like, dang, I wish I had a me growing up. Like I would, sometimes, sometimes you stop and have a little pity party for yourself every once in a while. And like, you know what, if I had a me, this would have been so much easier. But I thank God that I was able to be me for me in a way. It's like, how? Like, I don't understand that sometimes, but I know that's why I say I can't give credit to nothing but God, because how was I able to nobody, God, because nobody taught me, nobody guided me, nobody was me for me, it was only God. He's the only one I can give credit for that. So
oh my gosh, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh my God, how'd you do that? Like, that is awesome. Like, that's powerful. I mean, I've never heard of that. That is really good. Oh my gosh. So thank goodness for that. So you're the person that is always helping others, and like helping other I don't know if you deal with like younger women or anything like that. Do you have like because a lot of just our younger generation, not only women, the guys too, like it's so much harder now, than before. I mean, we're not too old, but the generations are just so different now. I just like, I don't know if I could have, I don't know how it would have been to be in this generation. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I was not. I mean, it's just different. Like,
I agree. Yes, absolutely.
I don't know how they do it. I really do not. And oh my gosh.
Like, I guess everything has its pros and cons regardless.
Yeah.
So you have, the pros obviously for this generation, but then you also have the cons. But it's like, you also have technology, and like things are so
That's
easy.
what I was just thinking.
You don't have to know anything. You just ask Siri or ask AI. AI does all the work for you. You don't even have to work. You're a millionaire. Like, what is it? There's the good sides too.
I was just thinking, I said, but I'm not like, but on the other hand, like with all this technology, like there's so many resources, like everything is just like the tip of your finger. So it's like you literally have no excuses, like really no excuses. And even doing stuff online where you don't even have to go into a physical, you can have an online business. Like you can literally be in your house in pajamas and make money. Like that never happened before. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just so much harder then. So just thinking, like you said, thinking back to how far technology has come, it amazes me.
Right. And it hasn't been that long if you think about it. Like, when did cell phones come out? It's like, dang, like but when we were born, like, I don't know. I was trying to do the math the other day, and when you really start putting it on a time frame, you're like, what? I was born, and then computers came out like that year. What? Like, this is crazy. Oh my gosh.
It is. Girl, they got cars that'll drive for you. I don't want my car to drive for me at all. Like, I don't even want it to be like stopping me. I'm like, no, I got this. I don't need you to slow me down when I'm on cruise control. Like, stop. I don't like that. I'm like, they taking it way too far.
Too much.
Me neither. Listen, I don't. I really don't. I have trust issues with technology. I love it. It's great, but some stuff I want to do myself. Like, I just don't trust it. But that's crazy. I'll go on a whole tangent about that. But anyway, so let's okay, your production company. How long have you had that? And when did that come about? When did you birth that?
So it's funny because I literally founded it just 2 years ago. So after the pandemic, I founded it as an LLC. But prior to that, we were already operating, doing what we do.
Wow.
So the thing is, with me being an actress for so long, and then transferring over to like producer, director, and doing all of my own projects and things, it's like I might as well have already had a production company. But then I decided to name it something.
Yeah,
And then we were still
absolutely.
working under that before it became an actual LLC. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so it's like that, technically 2 years ago, but we've been doing this for more than 20 years. So,
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
yeah.
That is really awesome. So your team, you have a team of people that work with you, and do you have like a physical location that you
Um,
like okay.
we don't yet. And so that's something we've been talking about recently
Okay.
is opening up an actual studio. I go
Okay.
back and forth with that because
Mhm.
we travel the world. Like the shows that we're doing
Yeah.
everywhere, and I don't really like to be.
Wow.
My grandma calls me a gypsy.
Yeah.
It's old fashioned, but I don't like to
Mhm.
be stuck in one place. I
Yeah.
don't like to be
Yeah.
limited to one place. Hence why I started my Airbnb.
Yeah.
I started getting houses in
Yeah.
places that I frequent. So it's like
Wow.
I don't want to be stuck somewhere. And if I open up
Yeah.
an actual studio here, then now I have
Yeah.
this studio that is my responsibility that is here in
Yeah.
Atlanta. And it's
That's
like, do
true.
I really want that? I think as my team grows and we start to put people in certain places that will be more likely to happen because then they can handle it and I don't have to feel stuck there.
Okay. Absolutely.
So it's like Tyler Perry, he
Yeah.
has Tyler Perry Studios. He be there most of the
Yeah.
time. He still travels.
Yeah.
So I'm having a hard time imagining myself being there most of the time. Like,
Mm.
for me, I love the change. I love there's
Yeah.
that I haven't explored. I just got my passport last year, girl, so I'm ready to like
Okay.
go
I know
places,
that's right.
So yeah,
That's right.
we may have a studio. There may be a studio
Okay.
coming soon because we would like our
Okay.
own place to do our
Yeah.
productions. In the
Yeah.
meantime, the world is our production
Yeah.
studio.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely understand that. I love to travel. Like I love it. So like I get not, wanting to be boxed in.
Right.
And so my question is like what do you see yourself what new do you see yourself doing? What is something that you want to do and you haven't done yet that you may be on the horizon?
Well, I'll say I got something very specific actually because I just went to see The Forge yesterday. So
Oh,
that's
wasn't
fresh
it
in my
good?
mind and in my, what's going on right now in life. And
Yeah.
so I want to work with the Kendrick brothers. I've actually had the
Oh
chance to
yeah.
meet them and a lot of the people that were in the movie that I saw yesterday. I'm like, oh, no, it's so exciting. But I really want to collaborate with them and do a production.
Okay.
So
Oh.
that's a very specific coming up.
Yes, it is. That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yes, but I mean the
They
sky
have.
when I think about the future for us three
Yeah.
productions, it's just it's limitless. It's always going to
Mm,
be life changing. We're always going to be focused
yeah.
on the mission. That's one thing that's going to stay consistent throughout. But just the
Okay.
level of the projects, and then being able to collaborate with other production companies and
Yes.
things. We're going so against the grain and stuff that you don't see other
Mm,
production studios doing.
yeah.
So in
Absolutely.
every way. So that's one of the things is
Okay.
trying to get people who might consider themselves as the competition to collaborate with us.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So,
awesome.
yeah. So that's something.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that I think that would be awesome. Like the Ken, they have all their movies are awesome. Like I've seen, I believe all of them, and they've all just been so powerful, so good. In the Forge, oh my God, oh so good. Oh
You
my
like it? You seen
God. Like,
it?
oh, girl, I love, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna think okay, my favorites of theirs, I would have to say is War Room,
I knew you
uh,
was gonna say that's my favorite.
Fire something. What's the one with the
Fireproof.
fire?
Those are
Oh,
my top two favorites.
girl.
Yes.
Yes, I'm like, oh my God, that movie it was so good. But the Forge
Yes.
was good as well. They have really, really good movies, man.
I
Like,
mean,
and
you
it's
cannot
so
not cry. If you don't cry in their movies,
girl, listen.
something.
And look,
It's
I cry everything, so I'm just like always crying. I was like, I'm gonna be prepared to have my tissue. And my husband was
right.
like, you never a bucket of water. He just listen, girl, I can't. It just be so. Oh my God, it was so good. It was just
And
so
listen, the
good.
porch hit so close to home with me. I just be like, if y'all don't get out my business, first of all, like
Oh,
brother, stay out my business. But yeah, I literally
ooh,
my middle child to see this movie,
Oh man.
hoping, because I saw the trailer, hoping that it would ignite
Yeah.
him. And this boy, I can't tell you how many times I had to smack him upside his head to wake him up in the theater. He's sitting over here texting. I'm like, you don't put that phone away and pay attention to this movie. You need to watch this movie. You need to be watching.
You need to be watching.
Like when I tell you that hit so close to home for me, I'm still praying because life is not a movie. And I get fixed within an hour and a half, and I'm gonna still keep praying like the mama in the movie. I ain't gonna spoil it for y'all. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I'm gonna just keep on praying for this one over here because Lord Jesus, they hit the nail on the head with that one. They definitely.
I think a lot of mothers could relate to that movie. I mean, I know I could. My child is 23 and out of the house. Like me and my husband, all our kids are grown. But you know, you're still praying for them. You're still wanting them to, you know, go down the right path. You still want them to not, you know, have people that they're, you know, involved with that is gonna, you know, be their demise or, you know, just take them. And you know, so you're always praying as a mother. So it definitely hit home on that level just alone. You know, and I'm just like, man, that is so powerful. And we need, you know, more people like that, more things for our young people, and not only just, you know, the boys, but just our young kids in general, man. There is so many things that are fighting out here nowadays, and it's just it's hard. And
like Three Productions will never run out of material. You know, I mostly write, well, I only write at this time from my own personal experiences because they're backed up. You know, I have plenty of projects just from what I've been through. But then on top of that, like just to be able to write things that are relatable to the generation, what we're going through right now, like we're never going to run out of material because there's always going to be something that needs to be spoken about, that people are uncomfortable speaking about, and stuff that we tackle and handle with us through productions.
Absolutely. And the most of the things that they don't want to talk about, that's what needs to be talked about because that's what's like the dominant thing that's going on, you know.
Exactly.
They say, look, knowing is half the battle, isn't that what they say? So that is absolutely the truth. My gosh, well, that is awesome. So do you like living in Atlanta? Do you see yourself ever moving from Atlanta somewhere else?
So like I said, I travel all the time. So I tell people all the time I full-time travel, but Atlanta is home base. I don't see Atlanta ever not being home base. I have lived in Miami for a year. I've, you know, come back and forth, and I always come back here. This is the place that feels most like home. And so, you know, like I said, I just got off the highway, just drove in here today from Birmingham. So, you know, I'm always on the move, and I feel like Atlanta will always be home base. So,
Okay. Well, is there anything else that you want to let us know? You want to talk about that you want to maybe put out there? You know, just this. We're here for you and what you have going on to just kind of like give awareness to everything that you have going on for the people.
Sure, absolutely. So as you guys already know about my book, we mentioned I am a poetic ensemble. So one of the unique things about my production company, S3 Productions, we actually have a book and a project to go with the book every time. So for every book that comes out, there will also be a project. Now I say project instead of movie or play. Because most of our projects are film and play and everything put together. So it's a live experience that you have to be there to watch. And so I have a show, 9 Lives. The next was actually coming up in Atlanta in 2 days. So I'm kind of in my last interview prior to the show. So I'm kind of in, it's crunch mode right now. So 9 Lives is a 1-woman show that's based on the book I Am. And I play 9 characters where I deal with 9 different topics and types of trauma that I have actually been through. Homelessness to domestic violence, divorce, depression, all of the, you name it. Did I mention homelessness? I can't say I'm in a row unless I have a list in front of me, but you get the idea. All of the things we're going through these days that people don't want to talk about, those are the topics that we touch on. And so I play these different characters. I tell my own story from the perspective of each of those individual characters. I'm excited for that show coming up in Atlanta this weekend, but also there will there's an opportunity we're taking it everywhere. So there's an opportunity for anyone right now from any state. I know you're in North Carolina. That's actually where we're
Yeah,
coming.
I was gonna say when y'all coming to Charlotte, 'cause I want to come see it.
Actually,
Okay, yes.
got Riley on the list right now
Okay, well that's close enough. I can get there.
okay, cool. So
Okay,
that's
okay.
so yeah, we're taking it everywhere, and we're taking requests
Oh,
in
okay.
your city, and not just Nine Lives, but I also have a show called The Face of Homeless, and there's many
Okay.
more shows coming right behind it that you can
Okay.
request us to come to your city and perform anywhere.
Oh wow. Okay, that is awesome. Yes, that I love that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to make it to Raleigh when you guys come because that's like right down the road.
Yes,
That's not
absolutely,
far at all. Okay,
absolutely.
this sounds very interesting. I definitely want to check it out. So that is awesome.
Yeah, well,
Well, give the people your social media, how they can get in contact with you, your website, and I'll also put all that along with the episode as well. But I
okay.
just kind of like let you shout it out for a little bit.
Sure. So it's really easy to find me, guys, because I make it pretty simple. You just go to vitelle.net.
Okay.
V as in victory, ITELLE.net. Vitelle.net has links to all my social media,
Okay.
my book. You can follow me there. You can subscribe. You can also text me at 770-626-5075. And that is the best way to really stay in the loop with what we've got going on at Us Three Productions. When our shows are coming into your town, we do giveaways and prizes just randomly, just for people supporting and following and staying
Oh,
subscribed. Just all kind of stuff going on. It's
that's
amazing. You just got to
cool.
stay in the loop. So subscribe via email. I would definitely recommend, as well as text message. And that's the best way to stay in the loop with what's going on.
Okay, well, that is awesome. You have some wonderful things going on. I'm so grateful to have you on today. So I'm glad that you could make it and we could just, have this time just to kind of find out everything, that you have going on, some things, that you've gone through, whatever. And I definitely feel like it will definitely help other people, all the things that you're doing because you're putting your story out there, which is someone else's story as well.
Mhm.
So that's awesome. I'm just grateful that you were able to come on today and have the conversation and just kind of network a little bit.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
All righty, absolutely. Okay, guys. So that's going to be it for today. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, and share my YouTube channel, Kimberly Speaking 8062. Until we speak again, be blessed.